first for the visiting New Orleans Jesters. Number 3, James Ortiz. Number 6, Guy Baskerville. Number 7, Rafael Calderon. Number 8, Eric Guerrero. Number 9, Jack Greenwood. Number 10, Ricardo Gomez. Number 11, Alexander Blanche. Number 13, Alex Herrera. Number 18, Armandillos Torres. Number 22, Sheldon Green. And number 29, Luciano Felizi. The head coach of the Jesters is Kenneth Farrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida for tonight's National Premier Soccer League Gulf Coast Conference matchup between the Jacksonville Armada and the New Orleans Jesters. The starters currently being introduced on the field. We will give you those starting lineups in just a moment, but first let's introduce ourselves. Stuart Weber here on the call, along with former Jacksonville Armada forward, number 2, I think, in all-time appearances for the first team. That's Jamal Johnson, once again joining us in the booth. Jamal, you ready for a good game?
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. It's a perfect night for it. Beautiful hot summer day here in Jacksonville. I think the boys are on a run. You could call it a run. I'm excited. I think there's a good brand of football that's being played, and over the last few games they've been able to get goals in the net, and that's what the fans are here to see tonight.
Yeah, and this is a high leverage matchup. This is one that's going to play a big role in what the playoff seedings look like once we get to the postseason. Of course, both of these teams currently in the top 3. Jacksonville second, New Orleans in third, and all getting ready to try and take on Southern States, that top team. Let's pause for the national anthem. We'll get you those lineups in just a moment.
Please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America and those who serve our country at home and abroad. The performance of our national anthem, they performed this evening by Peyton Tyson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And a big thank you to Peyton Tyson for performing tonight's national anthem here at Hodges Stadium. And mentioned it in the build-up to this game how huge this one is for the Jacksonville Armada. A win or a draw guarantees a home playoff game and a winner-takes-all matchup potentially in the regular season finale against Southern States SC. So You pick up at least a point today, you're playing at least one home game here in Jacksonville, and we saw the last 2 years just how important home games are when it comes to the postseason, not only for those Gulf Coast Conference games, but also further down the line. Jamal, this is the only team that has beaten the Armada this season. When you're a club facing the only team that got the best of you, what does that do for your mentality, knowing that you get that second chance at them and you get a chance at them at home?
It's a huge opportunity. I mean, you look at it as you don't want to put too much emphasis on a result that you've gone through in a season. You more so plan for what's ahead in these situations, because there's an awful lot of emphasis that will be put on, playoff placing, whether or not they are the best team in the league. I think the boys will be ready for it, though. You're coming into it on a run of a couple of good results. You've got goal scorers in the team now. Saulo had a fantastic weekend. De Silva, number 6, playing up front. And now, I'm sure Coach Krasanovic isn't particularly too worried about what the Jesters are going to do, more so worried about what they've been planning on throughout the week and being able to get the job done tonight.
All right, let's get you your starting lineups for tonight's matchup, starting with our visitors from the Big Easy, the New Orleans Jesters, coming to town, and in goal will be Alex Hare. For the Jesters, it's number 6, Guy Baskerville, number 16, George Chandler, number 3, James Raptis, number 8, Eric Gunera, number 7, Rafa Calderon, number 29, Lucho Galizzi, number 18, Adam Torres, number 11, Alex Blanche, number 10, the captain, Ricardo Gomez, and a very dangerous player in number 22, Sheldon Green, who has 6 goals on the season. So we will certainly keep an eye on number 22 throughout these proceedings. As for the home team, the Jacksonville Armada in blue, going from right to left on your screen tonight. In goal, Jason Dubrovich. In the back line, it's Ayrton Redmore, Miles Shanley, and Gavin Penzone. The midfield consists of Micah Thomas, Toby McCallum, Teddy West, and Jed Bowman. And up top, Angus Taylor, Eduardo Coimbra, and the aforementioned Saulo da Silva, who leads the NPSL in goals per game. He's played 1 game this year. He scored 2, though, and that's a really good clip that no one's going to be able to replicate in the course of this league. So
what an impact. What an impact.
Without a doubt. So certainly he's a guy we will watch for Jacksonville as that kind of target forward guy, that guy who can really put the ball into the back of the net. As we are officially underway at Hodges Stadium on a very warm evening. We'll say that a couple times as we sit in the wonderful air-conditioned press box here at Hodges Stadium.
Thankfully.
It is very nice and cool up here, which I am not mad about at all.
Nice chilled water. It's got a little ice bucket in there.
They take care of us up here, Jamal. They know what they're doing.
I mean, we're very important people. Why not?
Early on, the Jesters with a chance. Here's a shot from distance outside of the 18. It's Eric Gunera who puts his right boot on it, right into the arms of Jason Dubrovich, and he'll feed it out to his defense to get Jacksonville's first possession of this game going. The Jesters not taking their time at all and obviously trying to jumpstart their offense and get this thing moving quickly.
Yeah, when you've got yourself in the final third, you've got to make the most of it. I think it's going to be difficult if the game sort of does get spread, and you see with the way that they're shaping up, they're sitting back, low block, 45 yards away from the goal, just allowing Jacksonville to have possession of the ball.
And that was one of the things when talking to these players this week was, look, this is a team that's going to play a very compact defense. They're not going to give you many opportunities. They're going to make you work for it. As an offense, what does it take to be able to break down that compact defense that a team presents to you? Well,
I think there's going to be a large influence today of getting numbers forward. I think there's going to be mobility. They've definitely got to have some sort of rhythm to the play, what they'll try and build out from the back. Shift the Jesters from side to side to allow them to create holes in that midfield and through that midfield so they can find the likes of, Saulo da Silva up front, Angus Taylor from the left-hand side, and Coimbra from the right. I know Edu's going to get a lot of the ball today.
Yeah, Eduardo Coimbra has played very well this season, and a lot of the time it's been in a supporting role and being able to create opportunities for his teammates. Hopefully a chance to continue that, maybe get it to Saulo, get it to Beef, Angus Taylor, get it up to him as well as Jacksonville tries to push forward on the near side. That'll go out and be looks like it's going to go off of New Orleans. So throw in Jacksonville deep in the attacking third as Micah Thomas will take this throw in. We'll see if they can maybe get something going off the long throw.
Yeah, and these might be the opportunities. You know, it's not normally a situation of where Jacksonville would normally try and be opportunative on these situations, but I think this is where they're going to have to capitalize.
Angus Taylor dispossessed, and looks like the Jesters will clear this out. Foul by Jacksonville deep in New Orleans territory, so it'll be a free kick for the visitors. Third minute of action here at Hodges Stadium in the early going, still feeling out the rosters, figuring out where everybody's playing out on the field today. And got to say, the pitch is looking fantastic tonight here at Hodges Stadium, a stadium that gets a lot of work, including from our Jacksonville Armada here as of late. So love to see the field in great condition and ready for a big matchup tonight in the NPSL.
Beautiful surface to play on. Beautiful surface to play on.
It is, and for those who don't know as much about UNF, Division I school, plays in the A-Sun, both men's and women's soccer in the fall. Two really good programs here in Northeast Florida and a wonderful facility. Of course, this track is one of the best tracks in the entire country, which is weird to say, right? It's just a ground, you know, a surface with some rubber on it. But they host big-time national meets here, from the NCAA East Regionals to Florida State High School Championships, all sorts of good stuff here in Jacksonville. Jesters dropping it back, content to switch to the near side. Here's Guy Baskerville, dispossessed by the Armada. Slight foul there against the Jesters, so Jacksonville will take advantage of the reset and try to start things out from their back line. With Gavin Penzone up through the middle to Eduardo Coimbra. Thought he'd have Jed Bowman making a run on the far side, but Bowman was zigging when he should have zagged there.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy there from Coimbra. I think those are the situations where you really need to be connecting. Break through. You're able to find the likes of Coimbra in between the lines. You want him to be able to get hold of it, get turned, maybe play those incisive passes that we're used to seeing him do. But just unlucky there to miss out on that opportunity.
So for this Jacksonville squad, it's a chance to continue their winning streak, and it's been a really nice streak for the team. They've picked up 4 straight victories, including one just a few days ago. To get 5 in a row would certainly help them with that momentum they need as the postseason is right around the corner. And it's interesting because it's so different from a year ago when you're talking about a team that didn't lose the entire regular season. They had a draw in the first match and then ran off victories the rest of the way. So this team has had to deal with some adversity, had to learn a little bit on the fly and figure out what to do when things weren't going right.
Right, and that adversity, I think that's really will hopefully shape them up for the playoffs. You know, they came up short last season.
Here's a nice long ball to the near side. Micah Thomas will chest it down just outside the 18, sends across, deflects off of a New Orleans player, and they will clear it. And a foul by Jacksonville in the ensuing play as Teddy West gets into the Jester player.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, going back to what I was saying, it's definitely going to shape them for the playoffs. I mean, that's what Coach Krajanovic would hope for. You know, they have been through some difficult times this year, but I mean, it's definitely going to be. This is definitely the time that you want to start catching momentum, right? Catching that traction and being able to get goals and get players up the field. So,
long ball sent ahead by Alex Hare. New Orleans into the attacking third, but a little too much contact there, judged by our head official from Lucho Galizzi, and it'll be a free kick for the Armada, headed the other way. As the conversation continues on the field between Jesters players and our head official, though he's having none of it. Quick restart here from the Armada. Ayrton Redmore to Gavin Penzone out of that back line, middle of the field, and they'll play it back and reset.
great ball.
Shout out to the Jacksonville crowd coming out on a 95-plus degree day in Northeast Florida. It is toasty, but luckily the stands here at Hodges Stadium are all shaded here on the near side, right below the camera shot you're seeing today. So they're in the shade, enjoying a little NPSL soccer tonight, and they're continuing to pour in here as we are just 7 minutes into tonight's matchup.
Really good turnout, really good turnout.
Yeah, beautiful blue skies, no weather to worry about, unlike more recently when we had that weather delay in the last home matchup. So here middle of the field, it's Angus Taylor pushing forward, just a little too far forward as he loses possession, and now the New Orleans Jesters breaking the other way. Here's James Raptis on the far side, sends a long ball, looking for Galizzi, but might have been offside when that ball was struck, so he backed off a little bit, and it'll fall to Jacksonville's defense instead. We mentioned this is the regular season home finale for the Armada, but you earn a point tonight, and you will earn a home playoff game. That is certainly the goal for this team. Well, one of the goals. You want to get a point here and at least a win against Southern States, and then, hey, maybe you had the 1 seed and you got 2 home playoff games if you win the first one. Micah Thomas now to Eduardo Coimbra, middle of the field. Pushing forward is Toby McCallum, and they'll drop this one back, but got to watch out for Lucha Galizzi, a name we've mentioned a few times in the past, as he's been a member of this New Orleans Jesters roster for a few years now. It's always interesting, having done these NPSL games for a couple of years now. You find that the better teams are the ones that are retaining that talent. They're bringing those players back and getting that continuity. I mean, you talk about Sheldon Green, 6 goals on the year, has that experience with the Jesters as Jed Bowman chases the ball down, able to keep it in play, but Eduardo Coimbra not able to get there in time. Still, Jacksonville earns a throw-in deep in Jester territory thanks to that effort from Jed Bowman, the midfielder, who will take the throw-in instead.
And you do talk about that continuity. I think it's interesting to see that the likes of Jacksonville Armada and the Jesters, they're able to do that. And I'd really put that down to the management team, backroom staff, you know, and building a culture where you're able to keep those type of
Salo
players.
da Silva into the 18, trying to weave through traffic, goes down. Referee says nothing there, and the Jesters will clear. But nice bit of dribbling there by da Silva, just held it for 1 touch too long. But another chance coming here for the Armada.
Huge opportunity missed there, but
great chance. And Salo appears to be a little shaken up there. He's kind of leaning down and still trying to work that one through, as Micah Thomas has it on the near side. He'll play back to Ayrton Redmore, and they'll switch sides through that back line.
Fantastic touch to get himself through and open inside the box, but a good tackle to.
Here's Coimbra again, middle of the field, trying to push it through to Toby McCallum. Can't quite get it there. One of the interesting things New Orleans is doing is they're giving Coimbra space when he drops back into that middle of the field, which is a dangerous proposition. He is a guy who can really make some plays with the ball as he gets fouled there, and Jacksonville will have a free kick coming from, let's say, 35, 40 yards out. Not anywhere near the shot distance, but we'll see as they play it quickly to the near side to Ayrton Redmore, the Australian left back. Ahead now to Micah Thomas. Thomas back to Redmore. And this is part of that process of breaking through a very deep team that's playing condensed and in the back, as Jed Bowman can't corral that switch. It'll go out of bounds for a Jester's throw-in.
As you said, though, there is a large space in between the defensive midfield line and the back four that Edu's just being able to just pick up those little spots where he can get turned. Now you want to see him getting turned and really driving through, trying to create some chances on goal, which we haven't had yet.
I was going to say, if you're looking for him, look for the guy in pink boots, but we got a couple down there wearing the pink boots here. Jed Bowman's got the pink as well. I guess go for the pink boots and hair. That would be Eduardo Coimbra, as Jed was not a fan of the summer heat, it seems, and decided to shave it off here.
Was that his excuse, yeah?
I don't know what his excuse was.
It suits him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little shave up top. I don't know.
I mean, depends on your industry, I suppose. If you're outside training kids all the time like you are, Jamal, yes.
Yes,
if you're in a TV studio trying to look good, you need that lettuce up top, my friend. And that's why I keep that hair finely coiffed. Also, I'd be afraid it wouldn't come back.
Well, that's a problem I now have. So.
I'd be a little worried about it never coming back. Like, I would never risk. I just can't see myself risking that.
You've got to be able to pull it off, mate. You just got to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
You know? Not everyone can. I mean,
hey, but you can. That's all that matters, right?
I mean, some might say, I don't know.
All right, 12th minute of action. Nice ball there by Micah to intercept it in the middle of the field. Here's McCallum with 3 Jesters around him. They will call the foul as he goes down to a knee trying to corral it. And it will be a free kick for the Armada. They want to play it quickly, but one of the Jesters players there, I believe that's Ricardo Gomez, standing in the way. It is. And our referee will mark off a 10-yard halo here for them to get a little space.
This looks around 35 yards out. This might be a little bit of a distance now. You can have a look at taking a shot. Might have 2 on it.
I remember back in the day, we'd call this the Jerome zone. We get Mishak Jerome on one of these shots.
Oof.
He'd send a laser into the back of the net. Just a blast for the pass for you. Here's McCallum, sends it, and it's in! It deflects off of Hare, off of the post, and into the back of the net. Toby McCallum puts the Jacksonville Armada on top in the 13th minute on a free kick from about 35 yards out.
35 yards out, and they don't need Meshach Jerome. They've got Toby McCallum up there.
It's the McCallum zone now, right?
He's changed it all. He's changed it all for the Armada. Great strike on the ball. I think the goalkeeper might have just got missighted as it's coming through, and it's gone off the post. He's got a little nick on it, and it's come off his back, unluckily enough for the Jesters, but to the Armada, fantastic. 13 minutes in, 1-0.
The third goal of the season for the Scottish native who plays his college ball at Memphis. Toby McCallum gets Jacksonville on the board first in the 13th minute. So if you're looking for that revenge tour, you're looking for that way to make up for a loss against this team, that's a great way to get it started. Get it started with an early goal, seize command, and maybe force New Orleans to come out of their strategy of that condensed backfield. Here's Eduardo Coimbra now pushing forward, middle of the field, up to...
penalty.
Yeah, no, says
Finish.
the head official, but the
He's
ball
in
goes
again.
into the back of the net anyways. It's Salo da Silva. And just like that, in the 14th minute, the Jacksonville Armada double their score and take a 2-0 lead over the New Orleans Jesters on a play that developed rapidly as everyone's looking at the referee wondering where's the penalty call. The Armada keep playing, and Salo da Silva puts it into the back of the net.
Just exactly what we were looking for. Eddie Coimbra finding space, incisive pass inside, getting turned, and now he's got his confidence up, and he's found a through ball through to Angus Taylor, who gets taken down in the box. Saulo da Silva finds his way through.
Did I not mention him as the NPSL's leading goal per game guy? Well, now he will have, if it stops at this point, 1.5 per game. We'll see if he can maybe get another one to keep that 2 goals per game average going.
Talk about having an impact. 2 games in, absolutely fantastic for him, and he's a great lad as well. He's got himself on the end of it, and it's just a real striker, number 9, just hustle and bustle, making opportunities out of nothing and following through, you know. He's got himself a great finish there as well past the goalkeeper.
I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at the foul. I was looking at the referee as he's waving no foul, and before you know it, the ball goes into the back of the net. That's got to be one of the things you teach the kids, though, right? You play to the whistle. You keep playing.
That's it, always.
You can't
always.
stop. You can't argue. You can't worry about everything going on around you. You just have to keep playing and until they tell you to stop.
Exactly. You cannot stop. You always got to play through with it, and that's exactly what he's done there. Just great opportunism. Found himself in the box, and it did take a little bit of a finish as well to get it out to get it past the goalkeeper, and he's got a little toe on it, and it's gone in. Fantastic.
Looking forward to checking out the replays of that one. Of course, you can always catch the highlights on Action News Jax. We'll have those for you tonight at 10:50 on Fox 30 and 11:20 on CBS 47. Yours truly delivering a sportscast to remember tonight. Here's a ball sent across by Angus Taylor, looking for Jed Bowman, but nicely diffused there by Raptis, at least for the time being. He'll knock it out of bounds and force Jacksonville to make a throw in here in the 16th minute, leading 2-0. Just like that, in the 16th minute, the Armada have a 2-goal lead. We'll see if they keep the pedal to the metal. Ball sent up by Penzone, looking for Thomas. Thomas brings it down, one-on-one with his defender, sends a cross in. Cleared at least to the 18 by the Jesters, and they'll move it further out as Alex Blanche gets taken down, and some real physical play there in the middle of the field. And this is going to be a yellow card. Yellow card delivered to number 10, Ricardo Gomez, for the New Orleans Jesters.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit of frustration from Gomez there. You know, you're down 15 minutes in, you're down 2-0 away from home. They come in here with a lot of confidence, I'm sure, and they're not really getting much of the ball. Tactically, I think maybe when they're in possession, they're trying to throw 4 up the field, which is just leaving a lot of holes and spaces, and it's hard ground to cover in this type of heat for 2 midfielders for the Jesters. And, you know, the Armada are just capitalizing on it. Now Gomez has got himself in the book, and they're in a dangerous position again from 30 yards away from goal.
Gomez, the captain of this team, at an earlier point with the referee, he was the one being very vocal with the referee. I'm sure he probably remembers that as they cue it back up here. And good to see Toby McCallum back to his feet. And are we in the McCallum zone now? Is that what we're going to have to go with here?
I think the number 8's got his name on it right now again. He's the one placing the ball.
As Teddy West there alongside number 17, four-man wall for the Jesters. It will be Toby McCallum, the first goal scorer of the night, set to take this free kick from about 25 yards out onto his right foot, sends it past the wall, but right into the arms of Alex Hare, keeper for the New Orleans Jesters. So kind of a catch your breath moment here. We had that flurry of activity in a 5-minute stretch as we suddenly see the Jacksonville Armada go ahead 2-0 on a pair of quick strike goals. And now you wonder, how does this change the way this match is played the rest of the way? For the Armada, you have to hope that they keep going, keep doing what you're doing, because it's obviously working. But what do the Jesters do to change their philosophy?
I mean, they've got to look at definitely Plan B. Plan A, I can fully imagine play on the counter attack, sit in, try and absorb pressure. But now they've got to look at something different. 20 minutes in, you've got a mountain to climb. In this heat as well, 2 goals down is like it's a steep ask of any team, especially coming here to on this ground against the Armada on a good run.
There's a reason they've won 4 in a row. They're playing well right now. As a nice ball sent ahead to Micah Thomas on the near side. He'll send the cross. Looking for Silva on the first. Here's Jed Bowman. Oh. Doesn't get a full strike on the ball, and that'll go out for a goal kick.
Just confident play, though, right? Just confident play. Maybe not the finish that you'd want on the end of it, but it's definitely something that they've been looking to do. Get down the sides, get Micah Thomas delivering balls down this side, using his pace, you know.
Here in Northeast Florida, we like waves, right? And I like the way that ball had waves of scorers trying to get a foot on it. He had Salo da Silva, middle of the field. Eduardo Coimbra, another 5 yards past him. Jed Bowman there on the back end to get a foot on it. So you love to see that from Jacksonville. Here comes Rafa Calderon for the Jesters on the near side, sends across. Penzone heads it down. Little shot from distance. Looks like it deflected off a Jacksonville player and will indeed be a corner kick for the New Orleans Jesters. As we've reached the 20th minute, this will be
massive opportunity for them. They've hardly been up this end of the field.
Really, the first minute they had that one quick run at it. Here's Eric Gunera set to take this corner kick on his left foot, low in swinger, still in the box, still an opportunity, cleared off the line. Nicely done by Gavin Penzone. That was a tough look at it there for the defense, and it'll be a foul against New Orleans. Jed Bowman taken down. It'll be a Jacksonville free kick. But when you have those defenders standing on that line helping you, that's a goalkeeper's best friend.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like zonal defense on set pieces, but you know, when you've got somebody on that front and back post for you, ready to just be able to clear it like that, the ball's completely beat Dubrovic there on the line. Luckily enough, he's got his man on the line there to get it cleared for him.
It was one of the situations where it just met little resistance on its way into that 6-yard box, and that's your worst nightmare as a coach. You don't want to see a set-piece ball just rolling its way into your 6.
Just a little intelligent run, though, across the eye of the defender in the near post space. Just took his eye off the ball, I think, and he's got through. But, yeah, that manager's nightmare. Really heart-in-mouth moment for you there.
Yeah, so props to Gavin Penzone for making the play there on that back line for Jacksonville. 22nd minute, you hear the chants of section 904. I'm told they had lumpia at the tailgate tonight. I love lumpia. It's a solid tailgate food right there.
What is lumpia?
It's so it's like a meat and mixture in like that what do you call that paper? The phyllo paper, I think I want to call it. Kind of think like an egg roll, but with like meat in there and just goodness.
Oh,
just so good.
You know, I've got to try some.
You really do, yes.
Lumpia.
Lumpia.
It's not fish and chips, is it?
It's not fish and chips. I don't think we have that at any of our tailgates here. Are you a fan of fish and chips? I know you're English, obviously.
I mean, I wouldn't mind some fish and chips right now, mate, to be quite honest with you. The pizza in the conference room there was nice, but a bit of fish and chips. Obviously, I've got a healthy diet, people. Don't believe anything I'm saying right now.
So I will readily admit I am not a fan of fish and chips. I've had it multiple times in England, and I would just much rather have it grilled or blackened every day of the week. Now I get we're used to a different fish cut here in Florida. Like, we're not exactly serving mahi and fish and chips over there. We're serving something you pulled out of that cold water right outside of England. So it's a little different situation. I get it. But I will pass. I will pass on that.
You just not at it from the right place, mate. You just not at it from the right place.
I don't know, man. I've gone over there like 7 or 8 times for Jags games, and I've tried it a couple times. I have not been convinced otherwise.
Wow.
Now, you get me a good curry over there or a good kebab. I just love all the international food you can get in London just because of how much of a mixing pot it is, you know, of all the different cultures.
But just not English food, then.
Just not the English food. Well, that's the thing. People always say English food is awful. No offense.
I mean, I was born over here.
I know that, but I know that. But you spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I know you're from New Jersey originally. But you spent a lot of time eating the food over there, so I figured you'd be offended by it.
Yeah, no, not so much offended.
Okay.
I'm definitely a barbecue guy. I don't mind a bit of barbecue.
There you go.
Down here. So.
Here's a shot from distance for the Jesters as I refocus on what's actually happening in the game as opposed to food discussions. That's Sheldon Green taking that shot from distance. And it looks like we're going to get a little hydration break. One of those temperature mandated deals with the NPSL. If it's hot enough, they give the players a chance halfway through that first and probably second half to go grab a little H2O and get themselves ready for the rest of this half. So let's take a little reset ourselves, shall we, Jamal? I mean, we're halfway through the first half, and you really can't say things could have gone any better for the Jacksonville Armada at this point.
Absolutely no, and I think the word from the bench will be keep progressing. Make sure that, you know, obviously you're now fighting against a wounded animal. And looking at the Jesters' communication from their manager, he's really trying to rile his players up and trying to add to the energy, punching his fist into his hand, really trying to get his players going, because it's a moment of where they've got to try and capture it. You've got a break within the first half, which they probably needed to try and regroup. Now they've got to come out and try and push the agenda. There needs to be a goal before half time. There needs to be more communication between our defensive line and our midfield line, because there's too far of a gap. There's too much space in there. Edu Coimbra's now making things happen. But then you've got to think about the problem that they're having down this left-hand side, with Micah Thomas getting down this left-hand side, putting pressure on their right back, putting balls into the box, and there's just numbers in there. I mean, it's a great game. It's a fantastic game to watch, honestly.
You mentioned Kenny Farrell, manager for the club over there in New Orleans. He is a veteran of this game. He's been around it longer than anybody, almost, in the NPSL. So he has seen a lot of things in his career as a manager, and knows exactly what these guys need, right? Like we mentioned, these are a lot of guys who've been on his team for a long time. He has a good idea of how he's going to get his team ready to go. Yeah,
I mean, I think a large part of the communication as well is, and what I can see him doing right now, I'm watching everything.
Now he's working on the fourth official.
He's trying to talk to him about the referee's decisions. The referee's decisions 30 yards away from his goal, putting them under pressure away from goal at home, is now becoming an issue. And it is. It's a free kick that's given, and it's kind of an innocuous decision that they've made in there that, you know, a little touch on any player in and around their box, and he's put his hand in his pocket to pull out a card, when really and truthfully, this is a top tier game. There's going to be challenges. You might just have to let it fly sometimes. And again, he's calling another, might be a soft free kick there.
Yeah, that's a foul called against Adam Torres as he goes storming through the middle, takes down Toby McCallum. I think the important thing, at least in my opinion, always with officials, is just keep calling it that way the rest of the game, right?
Right.
You're the one dictating these things. As long as he keeps that consistent for both teams, that's what you want to see from an official. Here is Angus Taylor now pushing quickly up, splits the defense, goes between two Jesters, and Thomas looks to cross, goes off of number 7. That's Rafa Calderon for New Orleans, and it'll be a throw in for the Armada. But nice little run there by Angus Taylor. You saw that burst of speed as he just cut right through some green jerseys.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. With Vaccaro being out right now, Angus Taylor looks to have really made the impact that he was being asked to make in this game.
Thomas and De Silva play the two-man game, but lose the ball. Luckily, here comes sliding in. That is Teddy West to get it back for a moment for Jacksonville, but it'll go out off of McCallum, and will be a throw in for the Jesters. They're going to play it quickly, and And look, if you're Kenny Farrell, you absolutely have the right to call for that one, because that certainly was a foul by what we've adjudged to be fouls in this matchup. As Micah Thomas gets into the back of the player for New Orleans, and it'll be a free kick now for the Jesters.
And it's a silly one to concede, but it is a foul. It is a foul. Yeah. But at least we are, as you said, what you're asking for.
Yeah.
That consistency.
You want to see that. Yep.
You want to see that consistency.
By the way, for our NPSL fans from across the Southeast and nation who are watching, we're going to have the executive director of the NPSL, Cindy Spira, join us at halftime for a little discussion about the league and what she has been seeing from this group. Not only, of course, these teams in the Gulf Coast Conference, but across the nation when it comes to the National Premier Soccer League. Here is Eric Gunera sending that ball in. Dubrovic leaps from his 6-yard line and pulls it down, and he'll play it out quickly to Jed Bowman on the far side. We'll see if the Armada make a break of it to push this offense forward as he goes across midfield. Doesn't have a whole lot of help there as those green jerseys got back in a hurry, and Jacksonville instead switched to a little possession on the back line.
Tiresome performance here from the two wide men for the Armada. I think they've done a fantastic job. Bowman just getting forward, getting in at that back post when needs be. Micah Thomas, getting himself in good areas to put a cross in the box, but now they just need that end product, right? But yeah, fantastic job from the Armada wide men tonight.
Here's the ball. Redmore's probably going to want back as it goes off his foot and results in a throw-in for the Jesters. Nice play there by Gunera. Still has it middle of the field. Still going through blue defenders. Gunera takes a shot, and it's stopped by Dubrovic. I mean, if you talk about a deserved goal, that would have been one for Gunera, who put together so much effort and work to weave through that defense and give himself an opportunity on goal. But Dubrovic dives to his left and makes the save.
Unbelievable stuff there. He's cut, like you said, a knife through butter. Look like something Messi will pull off in a La Liga game. That.
What about an MLS game? As you get another foul there, Guy Baskerville into the back of Teddy West results in a Jacksonville kick. Are you excited about that? Are you going to try to go to one of those matches in Miami, or?
Listen, I've already got my tickets, man.
Do you? Which one? Which one you got?
I've got, well, one of my good friends is actually a coach down there. Chris Nurse, he coaches the U15 group in Inter Miami. So yeah, he's my best mate until Messi leaves her.
That's tremendous. Yeah, that'll be a good one when you get a chance to head down there and see that a little infusion of excitement for the American soccer game with Lionel Messi coming to play for Inter Miami. That ball knocked off of a Jesters player and will be a throw-in for Micah Thomas.
No, but definitely excited. It's huge for the game over here, and I mean for the world stage. I mean, for Messi to be making moves like that, it opens the door for younger players now to want to come and play in this country from a high level to come and play in the MLS. It builds that MLS brand, and hopefully starts to help produce players at the national team level that are able to compete. Young players coming through with all that information, all that experience, and being able to watch and train with the likes of Busquets now and Lionel Messi.
Another big addition.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to go. Honestly, I really can't wait. I know I joked about it, but I cannot wait to go and watch him play live. I've only managed to see him play twice live in the past, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him again play live.
I just want to see our guy Miguel Gallardo get an interview with him on one of the Spanish broadcasts.
Oh, he's definitely going to get an interview.
He has to, right? Yeah. Shout out to Miggy, by the way, getting that opportunity with the MLS. Here is a shot from distance by Galizzi, wide of the net, and will result in a goal kick for the Armada. But yeah, Miguel Gallardo's been able to do a lot of color commentary for the Apple TV Spanish broadcast, which is really cool after he spent the past few years with the Orlando City broadcast team, and now getting that national opportunity is just awesome for him. So
fantastic.
Love it. Love to see that.
I mean, he's got a great character, great guy, family man, great personality, and he really is able to express himself well, and he brings his personality out during the games. He's a lover of the game, and he's a huge hero over here in Orlando, especially, and here in Jacksonville. So.
Of course, he was the first signing of the Jacksonville Armada, the very first player to ever be signed by this team. Was Miguel Gallardo.
Wasn't the best looking though, but
Oh, okay. All right.
he'd argue his point. He'd definitely argue his point, I'm telling you.
So we're in the 33rd minute. Jacksonville continues to lead this thing 2-0. Here's a chance now for the Jesters on the far side. Nice cutback from Sheldon Green, middle of the field. Drops it ahead to Alex Blanche. He'll go one back to Gomez. Sends a long ball near side of the field. There's Calderon. And now Blanche right between a pair of Jacksonville players, able to keep it in and earn a throw in for New Orleans.
Very well done there from Matt. He was teetering on the edge of giving away a foul, but he was able to just keep his cool.
Mike, a young guy who's playing very physical and certainly has to keep an eye on that, especially after being called for a foul a little earlier. New Orleans keeps it. Here's Galizzi running down the end line, and nice job there by Miles Shanley to get in the way of that one as this ball will roll out for a New Orleans throw-in. They want to play it quickly. Here's Calderon. Quick throw in inside to Galizzi. Thomas goes down to the ground and able to steal that ball away. And now Jacksonville will try to break. De Silva ahead to Eduardo Coimbra, but just can't corral it, and it's James Raptis who takes it away for the Jesters.
Just seem to be edging their way back into the game, building a little bit of momentum, coming down the Armada's left-hand side now.
And it certainly has been the Jesters who've kind of dictated things, right? Absolutely. I mean, they had that compact start, but now they've really pushed those numbers forward and are forcing Jacksonville to figure out what they can do, as there's a foul against Salo De Silva, and it'll be a free kick for the Armada.
That's what I mean, that drink break. Going to that drink break, 2-0 up, 20 minutes, 25 minutes in, come back out again. Other teams able to sort of get riled up, get ready, come back out, try and make an impact, and you know, it's kind of changed the script of the game for us here.
I think that's when you tell the guys, hey, we got 10 spots on the bus ride home. So
no,
one of you guys isn't coming back.
They want to get back for that Essence Festival this weekend, I'm telling you.
I think you want to get over to New Orleans for a little music festival in the Big Easy.
I wouldn't mind, mate. I wouldn't mind. I think Erica Badu's down there.
Okay.
You know.
Missy Elliott's
down there, yeah.
Well, what's stopping you, man? Head on down there.
I've got a camp. I've got a camp that I'm doing, a summer camp. So
yeah.
I'm working with the kids over the next few days, which is obviously more important.
Nice long ball from Penn Zone, looking for the feet of Taylor. Taylor keeps it in after Hare came off his line. Sends it in the middle of the field. Here's Salo De Silva on his left foot, headed away by New Orleans defense.
What a chance.
Great opportunity there for Jacksonville to add a third. Instead, it's this time the Jesters who get a goal line clearance from a defender to keep that ball out of the back of the net.
Out of nothing, really, as well. They've been under pressure for the last 4, 6, 7 minutes in this game and able to carve out an opportunity, and it lands at the feet again. Salo De Silva, just right place, right time, unable to just capitalize, but fantastic feet to just get the space that he needed to get his shot off. 2 on the line, get it cleared.
And that was Angus Taylor, did a lot of the work to get that ball down towards the end line and really make Hare, the goalkeeper for New Orleans, make a decision and come off his line. Fortunately for Alex Hare, he was able to have his defenders step in and provide that backline defense. Here's a nice ball ahead. It's Ayrton Redmore who sends it long, but a little too long for Salo De Silva. And this will be a goal kick for the Jesters.
Yeah, it just looked, the angle that we've got here looked as though it was just going to drop at that far post for Salo De Silva, just to head one down back across the goalkeeper. But as you said, a little bit too much sauce on that one. Too saucy.
Too saucy. So as we are in the 37th minute, Jacksonville leads this thing 2-0 here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of UNF. Regular season home finale for the Jacksonville Armada, taking on the New Orleans Jesters, the team that beat them 2-1 earlier this season in the Big Easy. It was a month and a day ago that match took place. Here is Gomez for the Jesters, as they pushed a lot of numbers forward, but this time it's Jacksonville who's got that compact defense and has dropped 10 players back on the ball as Coimbra commits the foul there, throws the hands in the air and says, my bad.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about, though. You've got to be able to, as a player in a game like this with the heat, you've got to be able to realize, is this an opportunity where we need to be breaking forward at pace, or is this a time now as a group that we've got to be able to maintain our structure, drop back in, try and absorb a little bit of pressure, you know? And that's exactly what the Armada do. It's just a little bit more disciplined in their approach to going forward and making sure that they're closing all the gaps off, because they realize there are a couple players in this Jesters team that can hurt you, right?
Without a doubt. They have some very good goal scorers on this team, including this man right here, Sheldon Green on the far side, number 22. 6 goals on the season for him. He'll drop it back. And now a switch as Gomez sends it all the way to the near side, and Rafa Calderon. He'll play it forward to Blanche. Sends across. It's in a good spot, but Coimbra able to defuse that situation momentarily. Now, shot from distance for the Jesters, up and over the crossbar, as that was Torres who took a crack from about 25 yards out.
Some real threats in this New Orleans team. Blanche on this near side, number 11, Gunera. Green on the far side, as you've mentioned. Galizzi down the middle. They've got some real weapons that they're using, and they're just playing free, no pressure. You know, finally found the holes in this Armada team that they're really now starting to put pressure on.
And Jed Bowman on the far side, able to earn a throw in for Jacksonville. We mentioned the Armada closed the season out on the road against Southern States. That's 10 days from now in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So a little bit of a break after this one for the Armada before the regular season finale, in a game that will have huge playoff implications as far as seeding goes. Both of those teams likely to be in at that point. Here's a nice long ball to Taylor down the near side, able to keep it in, still alive. No flag up for it going over the line, and let's see what they decide. They'll say this is a throw-in for the Jesters. But that matchup with Southern States is coming up, and that's a Southern States squad that has really picked up their game as of late. I mean, they just beat the Jesters 3-0, so they are certainly clicking on all cylinders, as you would expect them to be at this time of the year. And so is Jacksonville with 4 straight wins, and now leading 2-0 as they'll get another throw-in deep in Jesters territory. With about 5 minutes left in the original 45 of this first half. Thomas, throw-in off to Silva. Here's Coimbra surrounded by green jerseys, and one too many green jerseys as they take it away from him and send the break forward. Galizzi dispossessed nicely by Redmore, and Galizzi comes in aggressively. No, they're going to say that's a foul against Jacksonville. Not sure if that was on Coimbra or McCallum, the two guys who were near him. I didn't really see anything there, but that is the call. It'll be a free kick for the visitors.
Interesting one. Very, very interesting.
I just didn't see one. I don't know. We are high above in the press box.
Yeah, we might be a little bit too far away to see where the foul happened there.
That's got to be it. Here is Sheldon Green with help in the middle of the field from Blanche and Gomez. Gomez now with it, sends it ahead to, I believe that is Green, who switched over to the near side of the field to throw me off. That'll go out, but will still be a New Orleans Jesters throw-in. Green will quickly throw it in to Calderon, and they're going to switch, the Jesters. So Sheldon Green has kind of switched here to the near side, and this is him making a run into the 18-yard box. Instead, it's Ayrton Redmore, the tall Melbourne native, Melbourne, Australia, not Melbourne, Florida, since we have one of those as well, who heads it out and gives the corner kick to the Jesters. Now, the last time they had a corner kick, they had a really good job of getting it into that 6-yard box without any resistance. We'll see how this one looks as it's Gunera set to take it. Here is Eric Gunera, left-footed corner. It's a low in-swinger once again. It's inside that 6-yard box and on the foot of Galizzi. A lot of pointing, a lot of questions, and they're going to do it again. We'll re-rack and get another corner kick here for the Jesters. We'll see if they play the short corner.
Doubt they will.
I wouldn't think so, with how well he's been sending that ball in.
Yeah, they're going to get Galizzi again across that near post, or it looks as though it's Torres is making his way across in front of Redmore.
Here's Gunera, same ball, this time headed away by Jacksonville. Looked like it was Miles Shanley who got that one It'll be a throw in for the Jesters. Yeah, why play the short corner if the conventional corner is working so well as it was?
If it's not broke.
That's it. Long ball sent into the box, bit of contact, but nothing for a foul. Cleared out. Still, though, the Jesters with it. Gomez, 25 yards out, decides not to take a shot. Instead, drops it back to Chandler, who pushes forward into the 18, past Penzone. Tries to send across in, and they'll say it's off of Gavin Penzone, the Ponte Vedra native. And this will be another corner kick, but this time on the far side for the Jesters. And with that switch of field, it will be instead Gomez, Ricardo Gomez, the captain of this team, set to take it. 43rd minute of action. Jacksonville leads 2-0. Just a couple minutes to hang on before halftime if you're the Armada.
Watch the little run just across the near post. Near post space.
That's Guy Baskerville you're talking about. Here's Gomez. This one a high in-swinger headed away by Redmore. Kept in now by the Jesters, but Jacksonville will still attempt to clear. Jesters still have tons of numbers up, but nice job there by Gavin Penzone before it's knocked away by Gomez. Middle of the field. Back and forth they go. Taylor takes a bit of a knock, and they're going to call this a foul. So it's the way they've been calling it. They really haven't allowed much physicality at all in this game. I mean, it fits what we've been watching, right? Whether we think it's a foul or not. And in this case, you know, going the other way, right?
I mean, he can see things that we just can't. That's why he's a referee, and we're up here, mate. That's what it is.
But he doesn't have access to the pizza at halftime, does he? I don't think he does. Maybe
he's definitely not getting no pizza after the game as well.
Maybe they got snacks down there in the restroom. I don't know. Maybe it's something healthy. All right, long ball ahead. Here's Eduardo Coimbra on the far side. One defender cuts it back past him. Here's De Silva. Oh, that was right in the wheelhouse of Saulo De Silva, but the big Brazilian couldn't get a piece of it. Could have headed it. Could have put a foot on it. Could have put a chest on it. Oh, it was right there with all the options, just unable to finish on a beautiful ball in by Eduardo Coimbra.
Fantastic little bit of build-up play as well. Back to front from the Armada. Intricate passing, just like off the training field. Able to find Edu Coimbra, who cuts back inside on his left foot, but just
sloppy giveaway there by the Jesters as a clearance gone wrong, but they'll get it right back and send it to midfield. Looks like we will have 2 minutes of stoppage time when we reach that point in about 15 seconds from now. Here is Micah Thomas on the near side, inside to Eduardo Coimbra. He's inside the 18. Coimbra takes a shot and scores! Eduardo Coimbra into the back of the net. And just like that, Jacksonville has taken a 3-0 lead in the final moments of this first half. We were talking about New Orleans needing to keep that, try and find that goal before the half. Instead, it's a dangerous situation as Jacksonville goes and gets their third.
And he's been absolutely knocking on the door. Good little piece of play from Micah Thomas to enter inside the box. Just dropped nicely down to anybody else but Edu Coimbra on his left foot. Incisive finish, assured. 3-0, the Armada.
And we're expecting that 2 minutes of stoppage time. We'll see if they maybe add a couple extra seconds to that with the added goal celebration. But Jacksonville goes out there and gets a third before the break. If you're Tommy Krasanovic, you absolutely have to love your team's ability to go out there and do that.
Yeah, he must be absolutely buzzing down there. 3-0 against a team like this on a stage like this right now. Brilliant stuff.
So restart here. We are in stoppage time of this first half of action. Jacksonville now leads 3-0 as Eduardo Coimbra able to pull one in the back of the net there. And that was another one of those moments that just kind of came out of nothing, right? You're not expecting it. Now, Jacksonville had been on the defense, had a couple corner kicks out there for New Orleans, and then suddenly they find the ball on the other side of the field thanks to some quick runs as they might maybe go for another one here. It's
definitely a bookable.
Yeah, this one's going to be a booking as the yellow card comes out for number 6.
He's off. It's his second, mate.
Was that a second for number 6?
Yep.
Well, that certainly changes the complexion of this game without a doubt. I mean, a second yellow card is handed out to Guy Baskerville, and that'll be a red. And just like that, now Jacksonville has a 3-0 lead, and they're going to play a man up for the entire second half.
It just shows you football. It can just change on the drop of a dime. I don't even think he's played 3 minutes there. I don't even think he's played 3 minutes extra there. I think he just got him off the field because it's just like, I've sent one of these players off. You're probably out on your feet. Get in the locker room, mate, and just try and figure out a plan.
Well, that will certainly do it for this first half of action. Jacksonville leads 3-0 over the New Orleans Jesters in a crucial NPSL Gulf Coast Conference matchup. We're going to take a quick break, and then we have a special interview coming up after the break as Cindy Spear from the NPSL joins us next.
I live my life by 2 absolute truths.
Really? And what are they?
Well, the first truth is the best way to sell your home is on a big portal website.
Whoa, I'm going to stop you right there, cowboy. That might have worked in the past, but the market's changed. Right now, you list your home like that, you might be waiting for a while. You need a robust home marketing strategy built by a homevalue.com expert. Now, that's the best way to sell your home quickly and for the best price.
Well, my life outlook has been shattered.
Well, what's the other truth you live by?
And you won't laugh?
I promise I will not laugh.
I believe rainbows are streams of dandruff left by unicorns.
Homevalue.com.
In the world of real estate, agents are faced with a critical choice when it comes to choosing their path. Either go with a full commission brokerage with an affordable comp plan but little to no additional support, or pay much higher fees to possibly receive revenue sharing and stock but with moderate support. These are your only options. But for the very few who venture out on their own, risking everything to build their own brokerage, losing access to tools, support, and stock awards that a larger platform can provide, every agent knows that you must choose wisely, because if you decide down the road that your current brokerage option is not the right fit for your needs, you need to make the costly transition back to square one, resetting caps and forfeiting stock and revenue share. Brokerages capitalize on this fear to trap agents in a model. This is simply the way it is. This is the way it's always been. But imagine there was a better way. Imagine a brokerage platform that gives agents the flexibility to move between comp plans so that they can spend their entire career in one place while earning stock and recruiting other agents. Imagine if that brokerage offered solutions that ranged from a 100% comp plan at just $500 per file with a $5,000 cap, all the way up to an affiliate brokerage plan where agents can start and run their own independent real estate company, all while retaining support, stock, and revenue share. Imagine agents having the best buyer lead generation, CRM, and automated marketing platform to help nurture and close buyers. Imagine this brokerage platform puts agents first and focuses on real estate with great training, support, and culture. Imagine if that same brokerage platform recruited Forex agents with thousands of dollars in marketing after every transaction they closed at no additional cost to the agent. How many more agents could that platform reach? How large could it be? Imagine how much the stock could be worth. Imagine if this auto-recruit system included digital marketing, direct mail, email, retargeting, and was all powered by an AI automation engine, all working together so contacts proactively reach out and ask about the opportunity to join. Imagine if agents could earn up to 7 levels of revenue share and stock grants on the agents that the platform recruited for them. Imagine how much revenue share agents could earn, how many customers it could serve. Imagine if this brokerage encouraged its agents to build local relationships for mortgage, title, and other services to make sure their clients get the best service. How many more transactions would they close? How large could that platform grow? Can you imagine the stock value now? Imagine having the flexibility to run your entire business from the palm of your hand so that you can maximize your most valuable asset, your time. Imagine getting in on the ground floor, at the top of a recruiting downline, before the company has gone public, before the market is saturated. Now imagine what your boat's gonna look like. No, a little bigger. There you go. Imagine if those recruiting efforts and stock awards could provide for the agent in life after real estate and ensure a successful retirement. And imagine the entire enterprise is created and backed by a proven industry innovator. Now imagine this platform already exists. Imagine you own this platform. Imagine how large you can grow. How much revenue share you could earn. Just imagine.
right, and welcome back to Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida, the site of tonight's NPSL Gulf Coast Conference matchup between the New Orleans Jesters and Jacksonville Armada. We are at the half with the Fleet leading 3-0 in this pivotal late season matchup. But let's take a break from the action and let's talk about the National Premier Soccer League. And joining us now is the managing director of the NPSL, Cindy Spira. Cindy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You picked a warm one to come to.
I know, it's so good down here. I love it.
Where do you live right now?
I'm on Long Island. So
Yes. I mean, it's warm in the summer there.
it's nice now, but
this is a good time of year in a lot of places across the country. Let's talk about the state of the NPSL. This has been the home for the Jacksonville Armada's under-23 side for a few years now, and it has really proven to be a great spot for development for these players, and we've seen Tommy Krzanovich putting this team together of young guys who want to get those reps in over the course of the summer, and I know that's what we see in Jacksonville, but it's what you see from these franchises across the entire country.
Absolutely, yes. And there's a lot of franchises, we call them memberships, because we're not a franchise type organization, but that use the NPSL to develop players. We see some teams use the NPSL for post-college, and we see some use it as like a path to professional. So different organizations use the NPSL in different ways, and the nice thing about it is that the teams have the autonomy to do what's ever best for their business model, and we support that.
And we see that, just within the Gulf Coast Conference, with the different teams that the Jacksonville Armada are competing against each and every week. I mean, you talk about New Orleans, we're featuring some guys on this team who've been on this team for quite a few years now, whereas with Jacksonville, you got a lot of guys who are getting that college work in or played for Jacksonville FC with their MLS Next team. And that kind of diversity is helpful for these players because you're learning a lot from playing against young guys and from playing against veterans.
That's right. And one of the things that the NPSL also prides itself on is to be a friendly type of environment for college players as well. So we don't pack in the games. You're not playing 16, 18 games over the summer. A lot of the teams have 10 games, 12 games. They're nicely spaced out. So the college coaches tend to want to send their players to the NPSL teams for that experience, and they know that they're cared for, they know that there's good standards, and they know that they're going to get high-quality coaching and a high-quality experience with the NPSL.
We just have to lobby the USSF to maybe start that U.S. Open Cup a little later so that we can get these players on these teams because we saw it firsthand with Jacksonville. The NPSL sides are competing at a very high level with some of these professional teams that they're playing against in that avenue, which is really cool to see when the NPSL gets a chance to kind of show itself against other leagues from throughout the U.S.
That's right, absolutely. And actually, the U.S. Open Cup has a special award for the amateur team that makes it the furthest in that tournament, and the NPSL has garnered that award for the past 3 seasons. So it's a nice testament to how well these teams can compete at that level.
And I think something that we witnessed last year in Jacksonville was just how deep the talent pool is when it comes to this conference and to the NPSL. Just seeing the teams from South Florida who come up in that 3rd round matchup, and then Tulsa in the 4th round matchup, just being able to see these teams from across the country. Yes, we get a picture of what the Gulf Coast Conference looks like, but it's happening in all these other conferences for the NPSL throughout the country.
Right, and it's nice to see how the NPSL has evolved, and it's like rewarding for me because what I'm seeing happening across the country is the gap between some of the teams operating at a little bit of a lower level and some operating at the highest level starting to close. So we're seeing more parity and less differentiation when we get out of conference, out of region, and get to those national levels. Like, we're not seeing blowout games. We're seeing a good consistency of player. We're seeing a lot of players being recognized. So I think that that's something that we had spoken about at the board level and at the membership level for several years now, and we're kind of seeing that come to fruition.
I think one of the cool things about getting to talk to people in positions like yours, we're talking with Cindy Spira, the managing director of the NPSL, is you kind of get to keep an eye on the future a little bit. For these teams and players, it's very much one game at a time. I'm going to focus on the opponent I have across from me, but for you and the board and some of the membership, you get a chance to kind of look at the broader picture and think about what the NPSL is going to look like, not just this year, but for years to come as you continue to build across the country.
Right. So the main things that we concentrate on, we always want to provide a top quality player experience, right? Like, that's really what it's all about. It's about the players. But as we put our strategies together, we're also conscious that especially in recent years, that we're really getting business people that want to run businesses, not soccer teams. So we're looking on different ways. How can we add value? How can we make this an investment? How can we attract the high quality business owner to the NPSL?
Absolutely. And how do you attract as many fans as we have here in Jacksonville out to
That's
these
right.
games?
This is fantastic. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's terrific to see a crowd out here on a Wednesday night, on a warm day in
Especially,
Jacksonville,
yes.
to come out here and support their team. I mean, that's what it's been for them for quite a while now. Support your local club.
Exactly.
And that's something that you see not just here in Jacksonville, but different teams support their local club in different ways.
That's right. It's very, very grassroots type of organization, but not too grassroots, right? Still professional, still having the standards, but we're seeing crowds different parts of the country at the 3,000 level, even the 6,000 level, and then some teams just figuring out how to develop, and we're trying to provide a platform for them where they can be successful.
Without a doubt. All right, that is Cindy Spear, the managing director of the National Premier Soccer League. Cindy, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, the second half from Hodges Stadium right here on the Armada Broadcast Network.
I live my life by two absolute truths.
Really? And what are they?
Well, the first truth is the best way to sell your home is on a big portal website.
Whoa, I'm gonna stop you right there, cowboy. That might have worked in the past, but the market's changed. Right now, you list your home like that, you might be waiting for a while. You need a robust home marketing strategy built by a homevalue.com expert. Now, that's the best way to sell your home quickly and for the best price.
Well, my life outlook has been shattered.
Well, what's the other truth you live by?
And you won't laugh?
I promise I will not laugh.
I believe rainbows are streams of dandruff left by unicorns.
Homevalue.com.
Your Jacksonville Armada FC U-23, the Orleans Jesters win. It is now PT Realty. But it is a
And welcome back to Hodges Stadium, getting set for the second half kickoff between your Jacksonville Armada under 23 side and the New Orleans Jesters here at Hodges Stadium on the campus of the University of North Florida. The Armada holding a 3-0 lead thanks to that late goal in the first half, scoring in the final moments of that first half. And then a red card, a second yellow to Guy Baskerville, the defender for New Orleans, and Jacksonville leads this thing not only 3-0, but they're going to play a man up the rest of the way in this one, which tends to really put all the cards stacked in Jacksonville's favor. I'm Stuart Weber here with Jamal Johnson for your second half call.
Yeah, I mean, good evening and welcome back second half. Armada look like they're really going to start trying to capitalize on these numbers, and I mean, why would you not? It's a mountain. It's going to be an uphill battle if it even could be seen as a battle in this second half. Now, as you said, cards are stacked on Jesters now. You just hope that the Armada are able to really keep this going.
And I think that might have been our first offside call from this entire proceeding so far. Really been a pretty clean game as far as that's concerned. A lot of fouls. That was certainly a big talking point for us in the first half, as our head official has called it a very tight game, and that ends up hurting New Orleans as Guy Baskerville earns a second yellow in the first half and is seen off in the closing moments of that first half.
Yeah, there's been continuous communication from Coach Kenny, as you were, on this sideline to the fourth official, and obviously trying to get his voice heard from the referee. He's actually knocked out the cone at the technical area just to give himself a little bit more space so he can get his voice heard.
It's all about the little things you can notice from high above, right?
That's
play-by-play call until we get that fixed up for you. So we just saw a nice opportunity for Micah Thomas, the young player out of Nice High School. Had a great opportunity there, but it goes up and over the crossbar. As mentioned, we're having some technical difficulties. Looks like that's going to be resolved here now. So we are back, and you can see the screen again. Were you worried, Jamal? I wasn't worried. I knew we were going to get it going.
No, we always do, mate. We always do.
Foul call there against Jacksonville as Lucho Galizzi goes down. It'll be a free kick opportunity for the New Orleans Jesters. Here in the 49th minute of play. Their captain, Ricardo Gomez, set to take this from long range. See if he can find a running teammate inside the 18. Sending up some extra numbers. Remember, New Orleans down a man for the rest of this match. Gomez into the 18, headed away nicely by Penzone. Here's another opportunity. Blanche gets dispossessed by Micah Thomas. Micah Thomas now ready to make a run on that far side of the field. Kind of trips and stutters over the ball. Didn't look like any contact there. Kind of just looked like he ran over his own foot there, as there's another foul call. This one against Miles Shanley for running over the back of Galizzi. And look, I mean, you can be upset about it, but that is how he has called this game. So really any physical contact of that sort is going to receive a call. And in this case, it'll be another free kick taken quickly, but right into the hands of Dubrovic. Jason Dubrovic, keeper for the Armada, able to corral that ball, as kind of looked like they were trying to catch him off guard and unable to do so.
He's looked extremely assured tonight, Dubrovic. Distribution, being able to just collect everything that comes into his box. He's a great addition to this Armada squad as well. It's been fantastic this season.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about a team that had some really good keepers a year ago in Dominic Dominguez and Cameron Braswell. Here's Jed Bowman with a beauty of a ball, but it catches the wrong side of the foot for Eduardo Coimbra. Would have loved to see what he could do with that thing if he was able to get it right in front of him, maybe a couple inches in forward. Instead, it's turned over, and New Orleans will take it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of Edu in that little space there. That little pocket of space in front of the there's two central defenders, and in behind Saulo de Silva up there, just picking up balls and just making stuff happen in there. That's what he's all about. If he's getting on, if he's able to get on those types of passes in from Bowman there, he can be a huge problem to any team at this level.
Long ball ahead, looking for Thomas. Thomas able to chest it down. Outside the 18, sends a cross, and it's Alex Hare who comes off his line and grabs it at the 6-yard line. That was one of those opportunities there where Thomas was hoping that one of his teammates would be making a run, but the Jacksonville offense just didn't quite get up to that spot just yet. 51st minute, 3-0 Jacksonville. And it's been interesting to see how New Orleans has reacted without this 11th player on the field. They lose Guy Baskerville to the red card, and it looks like they're still sending those 4 up as much as they possibly can. Here's a nice takeaway by Coimbra, but New Orleans gets it right back. But they didn't really make any changes that I can really tell as far as adding extra players to the back or switching around the formation. They're just playing with one less defender, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Which I guess you kind of have to do if you're down 3-0 anyways, right?
They need to make something happen, and that I do believe they think that they can. So ambitious, obviously away from home to try and throw more numbers forward when you've had numbers taken away. But I think it's something that Kenny believes in his team, and he wants to try and make these things happen. So all power to him. Nice
through ball there from Blanche to Galizzi, but Jacksonville able to take it away as it falls to Dubrovic. Here come the Armada the other way now. It's Teddy West on the far side. He's got options in the box. And Saulo de Silva tries to get his head on it, and he does, and he sends it back across the face of goal. But Angus Taylor was just momentum taking him in the opposite direction and unable to get back to the ball and poke it in, because had he been on that far post, that would have been a simple tap-in goal. Instead, New Orleans will clear. Well, almost. Now they'll clear.
Great little pass.
Hey, Coimbra's working out there. So here comes the Jesters. Here come the Jesters to the near side. Shelton Green being defended by Jed Bowman, and Eduardo Coimbra comes to help him out. Bowman will keep it in and knock it off the foot of James Raptis for a throw-in.
What a great game this has been so far.
I mean, Jacksonville's been doing exactly what they wanted to do, right? Here's Coimbra now with a switch to the far side, looking for a running Angus Taylor, but a little too far, and Hare is able to knock it away. But yeah, the passing has been crisp for Jacksonville. The connections have been good. And see if they play on with the player down on one knee. That's Eric Gunera for New Orleans. He's back to his feet, and looks like we'll play on. But it has been nice to see them making those connections, using Coimbra as that conduit in the middle to really make connections for his teammates and take advantage and score one for himself late in the first half.
Absolutely, yeah. They're good. They're combining with each other. I mean, I'm sure that the communication on the field has been exactly what it needs to be, because they've kept a great shape, really keeping the number of opportunities that they've given the Jesters to get through them at a very low number. So, done really well tonight. Good performance.
And this is what you're hoping to show your home crowd in you know, what may be, but likely will not be your final home match of the season. If these results hold, it will not. They will clinch at least one home playoff game, possibly two, possibly more, all TBD, based on how the rest of the season goes. For Jacksonville, a win this evening clinches the first round, because you're either the 1 or the 2 seed in the Gulf Coast Conference. Then if you beat Southern States SC, that game next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, then you are the 1 seed. So everything lies in front of you if you're the Jacksonville Armada, as Angus Taylor runs into George Chandler and in the process loses the ball, and the Jesters will take it. But that's what you want. You want to be at this point in the season and have everything lie in front of you. Have it be up to you based on your results, and what you do determines what's going to happen. Here's Salo da Silva now pushing forward. He's got Taylor, sends it ahead. Taylor on the far side sends a shot up and over the crossbar. Had Coimbra on the near side, but instead takes a rip. Not a bad decision, but it will result in a goal kick for New Orleans. It's been nice to see Angus kind of develop in his game and see him take that next step as a guy who can score some goals for the squad, but also be a week in, week out starter and someone that you can rely on putting in this lineup.
Yeah, no, I mean, going into the last game, you know, the last home game at least, he started off the first couple of minutes just, you know, like in a boxing match, just feeling out the opponent, and he was able to get 2 chances, maybe a couple chances before that, but square them away. Builds the confidence, you know, it builds the confidence. Now you're coming into games with somebody that's had to take a break on it, Coimbra in Vaccaro, and he's come into the side now, and he just looks full of confidence, mate. Getting at people, getting on the half turn, being positive, taking that positive touch forward, taking people on, and he's not got himself on the score sheet tonight, but he has made a lot of opportunities for his team to get those goals that they need at this time of the season, and this is the time of the season to do it. This is the right time of the season to do it.
One of the things I've enjoyed is what you call a good problem to have, right? If you're Tommy Krasanovic, you've got players stepping up in all the different spots. It's a nice ball sent there by Eric Gunera. I mean, he's one of their set piece guys, right? He's definitely got a boot to him, but this one goes up and over the crossbar. Gunera, a little rocket there, could catch you off guard, but fortunately that one was up and over. But if you're Tommy Krasanovic, I mean, you have all these options, right? You've got this full deck of cards that you're playing with the rest of the way, and it's your job to see who's fit, who's playing well, who's clicking with each other. And, you know, we saw that with the great combination of Coimbra and Giancarlo Vaccaro. I mean, those two play so well together, and even when you bring in Angus Taylor, too, to make it a 3-man line up front, I mean, now you have a guy in Salo da Silva who you can bring in as that target forward, that guy up top who puts himself in the right place at the right time to go score some goals. You have a ton of other options just on that bench, and we'll see quite a few of them here throughout the evening as New Orleans takes one too many touch there, Galizzi, as it'll be cleared out by Dubrovic. But we'll see that here in the remaining 33 minutes. I'd expect Tommy Krasanovic will be very liberal with his substitutes and use quite a few of them, because you're up 3-0 in a 11-on-10 game. So, you know, get some guys some playing time, and some guys who haven't had as much playing time this year. Joe Spencer, Gabriel Adriano Christensen's a guy who's played more as of late, played really well in that last matchup. Keegan Anselin, get him in there as well, another local guy from Fletcher, as this ball falls to Dubrovic again. So you're going to see a lot of these players get this chance to go out there and get some valuable minutes and get the opportunity to go and work and put in their craft and see where they're at right now. And that's a nice thing to have when you're up 3-0, is trainers will go and tend to Saulo da Silva.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of the season now. You want to get your name in the hat. Playoff time, you know, this is where you've got to really up the ante. A few players have been given an opportunity here tonight, and, you know, they've definitely showed themselves. Saulo coming in, obviously now he's down there looking like he might have played 60 minutes here. Got himself on the score sheet again after 90 minutes, not having played at this level for a good couple of months, right? Might be a little muscular strain, or you'd never want to say what it might be, but
it's a hot night.
It's a hot night, mate. It might be a little bit of cramp as well.
And we'll be ready to make our first substitution of the match here. Saulo kind of grabs at that left leg a little bit and gets some help off the field. Number 26, Keegan Anselin, the aforementioned 6'4" forward out of Fletcher High School here at Neptune Beach, will get his opportunity to jump into this game and see what he can do up front as part of this Jacksonville Armada attack.
I like him. I like Anselin. I think he does well. He's an intelligent player. Gets himself in the right areas. Good opportunity for him now with a good 30 minutes to play. Come on, you know, might get yourself a goal. Tommy looks like he's giving him the information of these are the spaces that you might be able to get into. Get in behind, be intelligent with your runs, you know.
And Anselin's a good like-for-like substitution, the kind you would have expected to see, if not now, in the next 10 to 15 minutes in this match anyhow.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So good opportunity for Keegan to get into this game, and hopefully Saulo is good to go. As that's the last thing you want to have is any injuries result from a match when you're up 3-0.
Hey, he's the top goal scorer. He's the top goal scorer in the league, isn't he? Or
goals per game.
Goals per game.
Goals per game. He'll be at 1.5 now. I'll have to check the stats and see if that's good enough to lead. 2 was good enough to lead, as he had 2 goals in one match, and that's a 2-goal average right there.
It's the numbers, mate.
It's all about the numbers. I always told people I had the highest foot per pound ratio in the discus in high school. Because I threw that thing like 120 and I weighed 110, and the guy throwing 180 weighed like 250. Here's Anselin's first touch just outside the 18. Now takes another touch and it goes off his foot haphazardly to the keeper, Alex Hare. But I did lead the county in feet per pound ratio in the discus.
Oh, wow.
But I was awful at it.
Well done, good sir. Well done.
I was just little, that's all.
Anselin just getting himself right in the mix there.
Put himself right in the middle, right where he needs to be, and that's kind of what we were praising Saulo da Silva for, right?
Absolutely.
Was his ability to be in the right place at the right time and know what he needed to do to be part of that attack. As it appears like New Orleans getting set to make a substitution shortly as well. We'll get you that name as soon as he takes off the penny. I don't know if he's actually number 3 or if he realizes he's still wearing his penny. I don't know. The old warm-up jersey. He's not number 3 because number 3 has it right now, and that's James Raptis here on the near side. Nice through ball. That's a beauty to Sheldon Green. Works his way into the attacking third, one-on-one with Miles Shanley, the defender, and wow, Shanley has done such a good job of diffusing those sort of situations and really keeping his cool, keeping his calm, and preventing the opposition from getting a good scoring opportunity. Micah Thomas now ahead to Anselin, and the flag is up. He will be judged as offside. And that will provide the opportunity for New Orleans to make their substitution. And they also will bring in number 26. And that is Nate Alpeed, who is coming into the game for New Orleans. As both teams make their first substitution with number 26, he will replace Rafa Calderon, the right back. And a guy who probably has gotten a little tired here over these last 17 minutes. As mentioned, they're playing down a defender. That means a little more running back there for those guys. It'll be Nate Alpede who gets his first touch right away on the free kick. Free kick off the offside as we are back in action. 63rd minute, 3-0 game here for the Jacksonville Armada. Regular season home finale for the Fleet. Boys in blue will head on the road to Hattiesburg, Mississippi next Saturday. As here come the Jesters. Little shot from distance, parried away by Dubrovic. Nicely done there as Eric Gunera, we've talked about him having that boot, puts another one on goal. His shots, he's made them count. He's certainly made the keeper work, not only on shot attempts like that, but his corner kick attempts as well, and he'll have another chance to do that right now.
All credit to the Jesters. They really haven't taken their foot off the gas here tonight.
Here is Gunera, low in swinger. Looked like Shanley got a piece of it, and it'll roll all the way to the far side and be a near side for us, and will be a throw in deep in Jacksonville territory. Here's the throw in. It's Raptis sending the cross in, looking for the head of Blanche. He goes down in the box, but no foul called there. Shanley and Raptis colliding as it's Blanche who goes down and will result in a goal kick for the Armada. It's been nice this year for the Jacksonville Armada. They, at least the last few weeks, have been training over here at the UNF facilities as well as playing their matches. If you see some of our wide shots, you'll see a nice turf field on the far side, which is where they have been using their training grounds, as the fields over at Patton Field. Patton Park gets some work on them. It's been really cool over these past few years to just see the support for this Jacksonville Armada team from different organizations, schools, high schools, colleges, everybody kind of working with the team, working together, and all working for soccer in Jacksonville, in the city of Jacksonville, with the Armada, as they've been playing on different fields throughout the course of the year.
Absolutely, just building the culture in the area. As you can see, there's a fantastic amount of kids out here helping ball boying in the area.
Ball in from Gunera, finds the head of a Jester's teammate, and that ball gets cleared out. That looked like number 22, Sheldon Green, who got a piece of it, but not enough to redirect it towards frame. Yeah, you mentioned it. I love seeing the kids out here, man. That's definitely a great part of it, is seeing them come out here and enjoy a Wednesday night in the middle of summer and have some fun with this game.
Oh, what a touch.
Micah Thomas now. Needed a little bit more on it to find Keegan Anselin. And yeah, that's a foul call. It has been all match. Here come the Jesters now to the near side. You mentioned it. They're not backing off. They're certainly keeping the pressure on, trying to push the ball deep into that Armada zone and find that goal. For them, you have to start with one and go from there. Nice job by Thomas again to take that ball away, get it ahead to Taylor. He'll drop it back now, middle of the field. Here comes Toby McCallum sending long to Coimbra, but just a little too long, a little too much juice on that one. And it falls all the way to Alex Hare, the keeper for New Orleans.
It looked like a massive opportunity to get forward. 5v2 at one point. Slowed down when it got to the feet of Angus Taylor. Goes back to McCullum. He's trying to get a through ball to the open Coimbra. And just, it's execution. Tired legs, I'm sure, out there as well. They're playing in, 96, 95 degree heat out there still at this time of night. Dropped down to 84 now. In the last 10 minutes, I might have been.
In 10 minutes, you think?
10 minutes, mate. It must have been 10 minutes.
Well, maybe it was a cloud. A cloud came over. It actually wasn't a cloud. There's no clouds right now. Just off in the distance is all.
That sun goes down, and that's it.
That's it, man. Here's a nice through ball intercepted by the Jesters. Taken back, and here's a chance for the Armada. Shot knocked away by Hare. Another shot by Anselin, and here comes Eduardo Coimbra into the back of the net. Eduardo Coimbra able to make it 4-0 4-0 for the Jacksonville Armada.
As you think the chance has gone away, they've hit the goalkeeper twice, made 2 fantastic saves. One-on-one, Anselin, and it's dropped down to Coimbra. And look at this, kids all celebrating and joining in with the celebrations as Armada get their 4th goal of the night. Fantastic stuff, fantastic scenes.
That's a terrific celebration. Go celebrate with the ball boys, right? Get them part of the excitement as Coimbra has a brace on the evening. That's his 2nd goal, and it is now 4-0 Jacksonville. We're going to see some wholesale changes in the lineup as well for the Armada. 2 players getting set to come on. Cole Reasonover and Gabriel Adriano Christensen ready to come on for the Fleet as they have really taken command and go ahead 4-0 in the 68th minute. Taking a look at who's coming off for Jacksonville. Looks like it will be Micah Thomas as well as Angus Taylor. So Reasonover going to switch over to that Thomas spot on the left side. And it'll be Gabriel Adriano Christensen from Denmark. He will take over as Angus Taylor comes off the field. So we said it, we're going to see a lot of substitutions. We're going to see a lot of guys getting some playing time out there. And if they keep playing like this, we're going to see more goals. As they have fresh legs out there now to contend with this New Orleans Jesters side that has to be feeling a bit defeated. I mean, late in that first half, you get the red card and the 3rd goal in the span of 3 or 4 minutes there, when you're pushing hard to try and find that 1 goal to get yourself back in the game. That's tough to take as a player.
Absolutely, it's just that, as we said, it's he's doing it on goal again.
Yeah, he just couldn't find the ball there for a second. Keegan Anselin does eventually get back to it, and then tries to put the body into James Raptis, but Raptis able to hold up.
Oh, that's a bad
and
one,
comes back with a foul, probably a booking coming here for Keegan Anselin. In fact, it is. That's a yellow card for Keegan Anselin, number 26 for the Jacksonville Armada. And that's one of those frustration fouls, right? You lose the ball, you had a great opportunity down deep in their territory, and then you try to come get it back, and that will happen. Take a look at the ball boys over here by section 904. I mean, they should be probably going and retrieving the balls right now, but instead they're singing and swaying with the best supporters group in the NPSL. So they got to celebrate a goal a second ago. Everything's a celebration for these kids today. Brilliant. Gotta love it.
Brilliant stuff.
That's tremendous. Here's Jed Bowman fighting for the ball. He and Gomez. And there's a foul called as he puts the hand on the back.
I mean, this is what it's all about, though. You know, in these top of the table clashes, it's all about sending a real message to the team that you're facing that's really trying to take you out of your spot, really trying to give you the thought in your mind that they are the team to beat, and you know you've come out of it with a 4-0 victory. You know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Jesters to come back here if they need to, or to even face the Armada in the near future.
Yeah, and you know, pending the results the rest of the way, this very well could be a matchup we see again in the Gulf Coast Conference playoffs. That is still to be determined, certainly, because you know, you'll get the 4 seed will go to the 1 seed, and likely that's going to be Tallahassee SC taking on either the Armada or Southern States, and then New Orleans more than likely going to get locked into that 3 spot, and they'll take on the loser of Southern States and the Armada, pending those results the rest of the way. So certainly something to watch as we take our second water break. We reach that kind of midway point here of the second half. As we look ahead a little bit, we have the foresight to do that up in the booth. We don't have to go game by game. For the Jacksonville Armada, you're getting these most important games at the end of the season, and you love to see that as a coach and a player because you're able to lock into that playoff mentality early. This season, every match is going to come down to the very end of the season with that Southern States finale, and then right into the playoffs right after that.
Right, I mean, it's the Southern States are looking like they had a great result against the Jesters as well.
They did.
So I mean,
3-0 in that game.
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting going into these last couple of weeks of the season, just to see where the numbers lie, and being able to deal with the cards that you dealt. I mean, it's going to be tough.
So Jacksonville making another substitution. It'll be Nick Erb coming into the game as Jed Bowman comes off. Nick Erb, another one of those local guys from Ponte Vedra Beach, has played for this Jacksonville FC MLS next side. And as mentioned, we're going to get these great opportunities for players to get that playing time, get that opportunity to go out there and show what they can do. I haven't seen a lot of Nick Erb this season in actual game action, so a good opportunity for him to show what he can do. Ahead now to Anselin. Jesters come flying in. Anselin tries to get it back, but New Orleans will clear. But only as far as midfield as it rolls out, and will be a Jacksonville throw.
Gavin Penzone's been fantastic tonight. He really has. He's just been very, like, as you say, I think the whole back line of just, the real descriptive word I have to use for it is just composed.
And I will say this. So, you know, we've said Redmore's name a bunch. We've said Penzone's name a bunch. But we have not said Shanley's. And that is the greatest sign for what Redmore and Penzone are doing.
Exactly.
Because of how well they're playing in those defensive spots on the outside, it is allowing Shanley to not have to make that last second, you know, deflection, save, knock the ball away. He's been able to stay back there, guide this defense, put people in the right position. And that back line of three has played fantastic tonight, as you've mentioned.
Absolutely.
Here's McCallum sending to the near side to Erb. Back on his right foot, sends it in. Probably didn't want to put that so close to goal, but it falls right to Alex Hare for the easy grab. So we've got Southern States on the road, followed by potential home games in the playoffs, at which point you're just having to re-rack it and go against these same solid teams. These same teams from New Orleans, same teams from Southern States. Jacksonville able to do that a year ago. You get through them, you're looking at Naples, the solid team down in South Florida who has gone undefeated in their regular season in a...
Undefeated?
They've only got 4 teams in their conference. We have 6 in the Gulf Coast Conference, but they've only got 3 different teams that they've been able to play just due to numbers and the way it kind of worked out this year.
Right.
So they've won all those matches. I want to say they did 3 against each team, so 9 wins, unless it was 2 against each team. I'd have to go and double check that again. Is that one?
In any case,
they haven't been defeated, haven't drawn. So they've been all wins for them so far this season. It's been very impressive, and possibly, hopefully, something Jacksonville has to deal with down the line. Got to get there first, and that means you can't take anybody lightly. You have to handle your business against teams that maybe you're supposed to beat. Here is New Orleans, just outside the 18. Little turnaround by Blanche. Will drop it off to his teammate. Too many blue jerseys once again, and they'll push it forward. Jacksonville does not have numbers here. Little 2-on-4, 3-on-4 with Coimbra joining him on the near side. That's where they'll go. Here comes Coimbra. He's got Erb behind him for help. Taking on his defender, one-on-one, cuts it back on his left foot, inside the 18, and it's deflected away. Nice job by George Chandler to be that rock in the middle for the New Orleans defense. Jacksonville resets. Here they come for another attack. Switch to the near side. Here's McCallum. He has Erb instead. He'll drop it to Penzone. And this is what happens when you have that extra player, right? You've got the opportunity to kind of work it around the field.
Keep possession, make the other team work. He's got bags of time at the edge of the area. There's no one near him. Just get hold of the ball there. Get turned. Show me something.
As This one flies out and will be a goal kick for New Orleans. But he only gets to use one. You gotta knock the other one away. There you go. Chaos would ensue if we had 2 balls out on the field at the same time. I have always lobbied that I'd love to see like a 3-ball soccer game. Same amount of players, keep it 11 on 11, but put 3 balls out there. I want to see what happens.
You just want to see some chaos.
I want chaos. I love chaos.
You just don't have this referee in the
No,
game.
no, he could not. I mean, I think you wouldn't add players, but you'd probably have to add referees. I think you'd need 3 referees out there on the field. More substitutions getting set to come on for both teams. It'll be Gio Abreu for the Armada who will come on at this next opportunity, and Benjamin Schwing for New Orleans. Abreu, youngster out of Oakleaf High School, playing his college ball at UNF. In chatting with head coach Derek Marinato, said he's a high soccer IQ guy, so I'm curious to see how he plays out there as part of this team when he gets out there in a couple minutes. But first, Jacksonville with an attack now on the far side. Here's Christensen. Very nice. Keeps that possession and sends it back to the back line. Joe Spencer also getting set to check in for Jacksonville, so 3 substitutions will be coming on at our next possible opportunity. Here's Coimbra on the near side, surrounded by green jerseys. He'll drop it back to Penzone. Penzone looks to switch. He'll do so all the way to the far side, but the flag is up.
And as you said, Giovanni Abreu making his entrance now into the game. He's had a fantastic UPSL season. Usually, with me, for JFC UPSL team, I've been playing him and utilizing him at the back, but he's well capable of, as you said, with his IQ, able to play in any position across that midfield line. I'm sure he'll get on the field and make a huge impact today.
Here's Penzone, no one's stopping him, so he keeps it moving. Here's Coimbra, chance at the hat trick, and he sends it wide of the net. Oh, he was seeing the hattie. He was seeing the hat trick. Oh, but he couldn't find that 3rd goal there in those closing moments inside the 18. Good opportunity for Jacksonville, certainly, as we get set for those changes. Also, Jordan Schumacher going to come in. We're going to get a change in net for New Orleans as they're getting everybody off the bench, getting everyone a chance to get in there and play. It'll be the captain Gomez who comes off for Schwing. He's going to probably have to hand off that armband at some point to somebody. And Schumacher, suffice to say, comes on for Alex Hare. It'd be weird if he didn't. As for Jacksonville, Penzone will come off.
Had a brilliant game, the lad. Penzone's had a fantastic game. He actually just broke through and played.
Yeah, that was a cool little run there.
Fantastic run. And again, you know, he's just adding more elements to his game. Not just a defensive-minded player, is able to break through lines on the dribble. A real modern-day centre-back.
And Eduardo Coimbra comes off, nearly able to get the hat trick. Instead, he'll just have to settle for 2 goals tonight, I guess. 2 goals for Eduardo Coimbra. Another terrific performance for number 10 as he comes off. Gio Abreu going in for him there. Joe Spencer coming in on that back line as well. And Spencer makes his first touch here. So Jacksonville with 10 minutes and almost an entirely new lineup out there to play these final 10 minutes against New Orleans.
Just looking really good though. Looking really assured on the ball. Sweeping it around. It looks like they're playing against 10 men now. All over the field.
The Armada have made all their outfield substitutions. The only one left on the bench is Michael Geary, the backup keeper. Wouldn't expect to see him come in for Dubrovic in this one. As for New Orleans, they still have 4 outfield players if they choose to make those substitutions down the stretch. Nice long ball sent ahead by New Orleans. Chasing it down is Schwing. He's on the far side, down by the corner flag. Sends a cross in. Falls all the way to Galizzi. And here comes a hard charging Jacksonville Armada. And taken down is Gio Abreu. That's going to be a yellow card delivered to number 11, Alex Blanche. earns the yellow card for his efforts there, as Abreu kind of shot out of a rocket there, comes flying through. You can tell the fresh legs. You can tell the guys have been sitting on the sideline here for hour and a half waiting for their opportunity to come in and get a chance to play.
That's it. It's a big opportunity. You know, he's been watching it from the sidelines all season, really talking about trying to build up for his opportunity. And, you know, thankfully he's, put himself in a position to be able to get one. And I'm making an impression, as you can see.
Here is Abreu now with the ball. He has Herb. That's where he goes. A little 1-2, but the 2 is a little too far. Maybe it was a 2.5. So 1, 2.5. Just a little too much there. Throw in is poorly placed. Quick shot attempt there by Jacksonville. That was Teddy West, who took a rip from distance just to see if Jordan Schumacher was paying attention. You got a new keeper in there.
Trying to get in on the act.
Yeah, test him, right? So at least that's one save for Schumacher, who comes in late in this game. It's like, yeah, we'll bring you in, but you're going to have less players than the other team, so good luck. Substitution now for New Orleans. Omarion Velasquez and Brett Stowe both getting set to come on. And they will replace Raptus and Blanche. So it looks like Velasquez drops back into that position formerly held by Raptus, and Stowe, we'll see where he goes as Blanche comes off the field. 84th minute, Jacksonville leading this thing 4-0. The result has kind of been decided here for a little while now. But now it's that opportunity for development. It was pretty cool to have the opportunity to chat with the managing director of the National Premier Soccer League, Cindy Spira, there at halftime, and really talk about the development aspect of this league. Nice run in by Jacksonville, and just wide of the net by Keegan Anslin. What an opportunity there as he goes just wide of net, and they're going to say it deflected, and it'll be a Jacksonville corner kick instead.
Slight deflection, but carving open this Jesters team right now. Absolutely carving him open.
They play it quickly. Teddy West sending it in, looking for his teammates, and that's into the back of the net. It's Ayrton Redmore, the defender, coming up on the set piece. Ayrton Redmore puts it in the back of the net. 5-0 Jacksonville.
Slight deflection on the corner kick coming in. Don't know whether he knows too much about it. Looks like it's come off his chest. But the keeper has just been caught wrong-footed trying to claim the cross coming in, and ended up just bouncing past the goalkeeper there.
That took a double deflection, it looks like. It looked like it went off of Anselin first and then off of Redmore into the back of the net. So 26-28, and it's 5-0 with about 5 minutes to play here in Jacksonville. So we play on. I will say, coming into this thing, Jacksonville only trailed Southern States on goal differential. I'd have to look at the actual numbers to tell you where that's at. But a little 5-0 isn't going to hurt for goal differential, is it?
Yeah, they've definitely done themselves a favor tonight with this result. Given it stays the same until the end of the game, 5 goals for 0 against, puts them in another great opportunity going into this last couple of games of the season.
Free kick chance for the Jesters. Sending it in, off ahead, and Jacksonville clears it only as far as a Jesters player sends it high above and over. Who impressed you out there today, Jamal? Just thinking of the Jacksonville Armada players who, obviously a lot of people can impress you in a 5-0 matchup, but who are you spotlighting as your guy so far?
I've loved the impact that, Saulo de Silva had in the first half. It's difficult, coming into a side that has got, this much this much energy about them at this stage of the season, in that position, playing as in a number 9 role. But he's come in and done fantastically well, mate. He's got himself on the scoring sheet. Coimbra, obviously, I think he's a fantastic player, but his involvement in this game, especially, if you were looking at someone to give the man of the match to, you'd have to look at him. He's fantastic. Earlier on, getting himself in those really dangerous positions, everything not quite coming off for him in those moments, but building up into the impactful player that he is, he's able to just create chances, mate. 2 goals on the night, an assist, and being in the end of a 5-0 result is just brilliant stuff for him. So yeah, Edu Coimbra.
I think you can't go wrong with the guy who scored twice and nearly added a third.
I could say the goalkeeper, but I mean he's not really had too much to do. Like, it's the player that's had the most involvements in the games.
Absolutely.
And been, impactful in positive positions. Penzone, I would give another shout to as well. There's all over the field. They've been fantastic. It's been a great performance.
Dubrovic will have his opportunities. He parried one away nicely. He had a nice little diving stop on one of those for sure.
Yeah.
I mentioned the goal differential. Jacksonville trailed by 5 in the goal differential coming into this one. So now they'll have one more game played than Southern States, who plays Florida Roots this weekend. And the way Florida Roots has played this year, you would expect them to maybe add a few more in there. But you never know. That's why you play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we won't worry about goal differential and expect this thing to come down to a winner-takes-all type situation for that number 1 seed in Southern States. Or if it happens to be a draw, it likely goes in their favor as that top seed. Speculating, of course. We'll see what happens this weekend as Florida Roots takes on Southern States. That's a Saturday matchup, and that one's also in Hattiesburg.
It's football, really, anything can happen, honestly.
Without a doubt.
Especially when it's in this heat, the heat in this Florida heat.
And look, we saw it with Florida Roots. I mean, that was a matchup that Jacksonville went and, won by a wide margin on the road. They go and win 7-2 in Panama City as New Orleans takes a deep shot well over the crossbar and over. And then Florida Roots comes to Jacksonville, and it's a 2-1 matchup. So, Southern State's only beat them 3-2 earlier this year. A lot to be determined, and certainly something to watch later on. As we reach the end of 90 minutes, I've not seen how many minutes are being added on from our 4th official down on the field, but 90 minutes into this one, Jacksonville leading at 5-0, really just playing it out and giving some guys a little exercise out there at this point. Chance to get those minutes in.
There is still a good shape to the team, though. There's still, there's still runners in the game that are getting forward. Armada really don't let up. They really don't let up. I don't think Tommy would like to play like that. He hasn't sat down once in the second half.
And there is the final whistle. They'll play 1 minute of stoppage time, it seems, and wrap this thing up. A 5-0 final for the Jacksonville Armada. They pick up the win. We're going to take a quick break and then wrap this thing up after a quick message from some of our sponsors right here on the Armada Broadcast Network.
I live my life by 2 absolute truths.
Really? And what are they?
Well, the first truth is the best way to sell your home is on a big portal website.
Whoa, I'm going to stop you right there, cowboy. That might have worked in the past, but the market's changed. Right now, you list your home like that, you might be waiting for a while. You need a robust home marketing strategy built by a homevalue.com expert. Now, that's the best way to sell your home quickly and for the best price.
Well, my life outlook has been shattered.
Well, what's the other truth you live by?
And you won't laugh?
I promise I will not laugh.
I believe rainbows are streams of dandruff left by unicorns.
Homevalue.com.
And welcome back to Hodges Stadium on the campus of UNF as we wrap this thing up. Stuart Weber here alongside Jamal Johnson, the Jacksonville Armada, with a comprehensive 5-0 victory. Played the whole second half man up as they take down the New Orleans Jesters and avenge their only defeat from earlier this season. A impressive performance and exactly what you want to see if you're head coach Tommy Krzanovich.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic night. Brilliant crowd out here in the heat of the summer. Fantastic to see. The Armada have shown up tonight and put on a real performance. An impactful performance, a message I think that they needed to send to the rest of the league to let them know that we are still here with some brilliant, fantastic, outstanding players in this group that have really made a name for themselves. I'm thinking Saulo da Silva, brilliant, as I've said, talked about him all night. He did end up coming off with a minor, I'm hoping, injury or just a rest. Edu Coimbra also, massive impactful player for the Armada all season long from the start. Just a good performance, giving them a momentum going into the final part of the season.
All right, that's going to do it for this final regular season home broadcast. Tonight's win guarantees at least one home matchup in the postseason. I want to thank some of our sponsors, LPT Realty, as well as George Barry and Barry Orthopedics. And a big shout out to the folks from Gemstone Media for helping with our broadcast this evening. Tommy Riggins, Mark Marshman, and Keith Ainsley on the camera work this evening. Big thanks to all of them for making us look and sound good throughout the course of this regular season. We will join you again in the postseason. First, next Saturday, the Jacksonville Armada head to Hattiesburg. That's July 8th. And then the following Wednesday, they will be in Jacksonville for a home playoff game against, well, we shall see down the road. For Jamal Johnson, I'm Stuart Weber. Thank you so much for joining us. The Jacksonville Armada win it 5-0.